Hi guys, today we are going to discuss the actual SPM 2025 paper 1. Let's go. Question 1. The following information refers to the equation of straight lines AB and CD. Right. Find the value of P if both the straight lines are parallel. Okay, parallel means both lines must have the same gradient. So the gradient of AB and the gradient of CD must be same. Okay, so what we can do is, since these equations are not given in the general form, we can make it into the general form first. Y equals to mx plus c, where m represents our gradient. Right, let's look at AB. So we have 2y minus 8x plus 1 is 0. So to get it into this form, we need to make y the subject. So making y the subject means 8x minus 1 goes the other way, the other side. 8x minus 1 divided by 2. So instead of writing like this, what we can do is we can split the divide 2 for both the terms. This will be easier to identify our ymx plus c. So gradient is the coefficient of x. So here our gradient will be 4 lah. M is 4. Okay. The next one is already given in the general form. So the gradient is just the coefficient of x here, 6p. So we can write m is 6p. And since we know the gradients are the same, 6p equals to 4. So p will equal to 4 over 6, which is 2 over 3. So p is 2 over 3 lah. That's it. Question 2. Diagram 2 shows the graph of straight line y against x. Okay. Determine the gradient of the straight line. Alright. So to find the gradient, we have one universal formula, which is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. There is another simpler formula whenever we have intercepts, like this case. So the another formula will be negative y-intercept over x-intercept. Okay, let me show you both. So the first one, if we use the first formula, we need to find the coordinates. So the coordinate of this point will be 0, 3. X is 0, y is 3. Here will be negative 6, 0. So the first formula will be y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So you can use your calculator. 3 minus 0 is just 3. 0 minus negative 6 would be 6. So we get 1 over 2. This is the gradient. Okay. If we use the second formula, it will be even easier. Second formula is just negative y-intercept, which is this, over x-intercept. So negative y-intercept over x-intercept. So this will also give us 1 over 2. Then just to double check our answer, we look at the gradient. This line is going up. So this has to be a positive gradient if it's going up. If our line is going down, that means it has to be a negative gradient. So since this is going up, our gradient steady lah, positive. Alright. So here gradient is 1 over 2. Question B. Hence express y in terms of x such that x is this, y is this. Okay. When they give us capital Y and capital X, that means this represents the x's. Okay, it doesn't mean this represents y and x. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to sub in. So they already said capital X is this, capital Y is this. So we sub it into our equation y equals to mx plus c. Okay, actually this equation will be something like this. y equals to mx plus c. So capital Y is y over x. Our gradient is now we found 1 over 2. Capital X is x square y plus c. C is the y-intercept. So in this case, c is 3. Then from here we expand and try to make y the subject. So here we get 1 over 2 x square y plus 3. We need to find y in terms of x. So whichever got y, we bring it to one side. Or you know what? We can get rid of the denominator first lah. So the whole equation we times x. So we get y 1 over 2 x cube y plus 3x. And then whichever term got y, we bring it to one side. So we'll get y minus 1 over 2 x cube y equals to 3x. Okay. If you want to make your life even easier, we get rid of this fraction as well. So this thing is over 2, right? To get rid of that, we multiply the whole thing by 2. So we get 2y minus x cube y is 6x. Then, to make y the subject, we can factor out the y. Then we make y the subject lah. So 6x over 2 minus x cube. This will be y in terms of x. Done. That's it. Question 3. Listing out all terms of the sequence is not accepted for this question. Okay. So here they said given a sequence of numbers, this is our sequence, find the number of terms of the sequence. Okay. So we have a few numbers in between and then the last term is this. So we need to find how many terms do we need to go through to get this. Okay, the first thing to do is, since they never say what kind of progression is this, we need to check if this is an arithmetic or geometric progression. So let's see, we have 9 becoming 3, so this is minus 6. 3 becoming negative 3, also minus 6. So this looks like an arithmetic progression. Okay, because minus lah. So remember, arithmetic progression means we will have plus or minus. Geometric progression will be times or divide. So since this is minus 6, it is an AP. Right. So arithmetic progression, we need to find A and D first. So A is always the first term, A is 9. D is the difference, the common difference is negative 6. So if you want to find negative 6 using a formula, it will be T2 minus T1. So T2 is 3, T1 is 9. 3 minus 9 is negative 6. Okay, we have A, we have D. Now, we know Tn, okay, the nth term is negative 105. We need to find what is the value of the n. So we say Tn is negative 105. The formula for Tn would be A plus n minus 1d. This formula is given in exam, so don't worry lah. You just have to know which Tn is for arithmetic, which Tn is for geometric. So for arithmetic, the Tn will have d. For geometric, it will be r. So A is 9, n minus 1, d is negative 6. So from here, we bring the 9 over that side, n minus 1 times negative 6, negative 105 minus 9. We get negative 114. So n minus 1 will be negative 114 divide negative 6. Okay, since this is related by times, we bring it over that side, it becomes divide. And n will be this answer, 19 plus 1. Okay, this negative 1 we bring over that side, become plus 1. So n is 20. So there are 20 terms in this sequence. Done. Okay, let's look at B. So here they want us to find the sum of all terms in the sequence. So to find sum of all terms, we have two formula. One is given in exam, 2a plus n minus 1d. One more is not given in exam, n over 2 a plus l. So to stay safe, we just use the one that is given in exam lah. The ones that's not given in exam is actually easier because we already know our a, we already know our l, so you can just put a and l. A is the first term, l is the last term lah. But since it's not given in exam, we just use this lah. So n is 20, a is 9, 20 minus 1, d is negative 6. So 20 over 2 is 10, 2 times 9 is 18, 19 times negative 6. We get negative 960. Done. Question 4a. Diagram 4 shows two parallelograms with height PCM. So we have 1 and 2 parallelograms. They both have a height of PCM. Okay. They said given that GF is this, so the base of this parallelogram is given, ED is this, base given, total area is also given. Okay. So the area for parallelogram will be base multiplied by height. This is our base and this will be our height, which is P lah. So we can say the area for this parallelogram would be 3 plus 2 multiplied by the height. And the area of this filler will be base times height. Then we expand. So 3p plus Z2p plus Z8p. Z8 we can split it. 8 is 4 times 2. So we can say Z4 times Z2p. Okay. Then this Z4 is basically just 2. So this will become 3p plus Z2p plus 2Z2p. Okay. We can simplify further. This one is Z2p. This one is 2Z2p. So this is 1Z2p, 2Z2p. So 1Z2p plus 2Z2p, we will get 3Z2p. Then 3p we just write lah. Okay, this is the area that we found. The area that they gave is in terms of R. They want us to make P the subject. So we can say this area equals to this area lah. So 3p plus 3Z2p must equal to 9R plus 3RZ2. We need to make P the subject. So let's factor out the P. We get 3 plus 3Z2. Here, this side also we can factor out the R. So we take out the R. 9 plus 3Z2. So making P the subject, we will get this divided by 3 plus 3Z2. Okay. But we can't leave the answer like this because they want us to get the answer in this form. That means no denominator. So here we have to get rid of the denominator. So to get rid of this, we have to multiply with the conjugate. So this will be the third part lah. So we can say P is R 9 plus 3Z2 over 3 plus 3Z2, right? Okay, the conjugate of this would be 3 minus 3Z2. 3 minus 3Z2. Okay, so we have to multiply with the conjugate of the denominator Okay, conjugate means simple, you just have to change the plus to minus. If here is minus, you change to plus lah. Okay, so once you you multiply this already, on top also you must multiply the same thing. Only then it will be fair for a fraction. Now we expand. So on top here, I'll just leave it. 9 times 3, we get 27. And then 9 times negative 3 is 2. Negative 27 is 2. This one times this one, we get 9 set 2. This times this, negative 9 times 2. Okay. Down here, 3 times 3 will get 9. And then conjugates, this and this will cancel off. So for complex conjugate like this, you just times these two, and then you just times these two. So we get negative 9 times 2. Okay, so we can use calculator lah. So we have 27 minus 9 times 2, which is 18. So we get 9 plus, and then we have negative 27 set 2 plus 9 set 2. So we get negative 18 set 2 over bottom here we have 9 minus 9 times 2, which is negative 9. So now we can simplify this lah. So let me write this here. Here we'll get R. 9 divided by negative 9 will be negative 1. And then negative 18 divided by negative 9 would be 2 third 2. Then we multiply this in. We get negative R plus 2R third 2. This will be P. Oops. Done. That's it. For B. Right. Given that log P3 minus log Px is log, okay. So conveniently, all the logs are in the same base, so we can easily simplify. So if you have log with minus, we can simplify this to become divide. So it will become 3 divided by x. And then this 1 over 3 we can bring up here. So it will become log P 2 minus y power 1 over 3. Okay. Since both sides also got log P, we can just compare the numbers here. 3 over x is 2 minus y 1 over 3. They want us to express x in terms of y, so we need to make x the subject. So what we can do is, this one and this one, we can swap. So we put 3 over 2 minus y power 1 over 3 equals to x. This will be our answer lah. So we can just rewrite it. 2 minus y 1 over 3. Done. That's it. For C. Wow, this looks like a really complex question. Okay, so they given that this minus this is this, find the value of m. Okay, right. Okay, let's see. So here they gave us two different fractions. So to make the denominators, we need to make the denominator same. Then only we can simplify to one fraction. Okay, so we do the small things first. M and n here we can multiply. So this will give us x power mn over x plus y power m minus x mn plus 1. Okay, x mn plus 1 means it will become x power mn times x power 1. This is how the powers become plus 1. So if we expand this, we will get this. So this we can write it as x power mn times x. over, down here also same. So x plus y power m multiplied by x plus y power 1. Only then our power will become plus. So our denominator will be x plus y power m times x plus y. Okay. So this whole thing equals to the right side. Right side we get y square x power mn plus, this one also plus 1. So we can do y times x mn times x. Okay. Now let's try to make the denominator same. So this is the only extra part here, because here is x plus ym, here is x plus ym times this. So what we do is top and bottom we multiply with x plus y. This will make the denominator same lah. Then we expand. So this one we expand, we'll get x power mn times x plus x power mn times y minus this whole thing, which is x power mn times x. So we can make it into one common denominator lah, since our denominator already same. So x plus y power m times x plus y equals to y square x mn plus xy x mn. Okay, I just rearrange the x and y. Okay. Phew. Now, here we can simplify. X mn x minus x mn x. Okay, this one can cut already. Right. Now, and then this one we can do also. Here we have power 1, right? So we can simplify it back to this form to make it look a bit easier lah. So x power mn times y over x plus y power m plus 1. Over here, over the right side, we can factor out the x mn. We'll be left with y square plus xy. Okay. Now what we can do is, since both sides got x mn, we can cross this off also. So we'll be left with y over x plus y m plus 1 equals to y square plus xy. Oh, actually here y also we can factor out. So we'll get y plus x. Then this y also we can cross out. So we'll be left with, alamak, mine of space. Okay, I erase the top one. So we'll be left with 1 over x plus y m plus 1 equals to y plus x. Okay, so this we can, since this is 1 over, we can make this into x plus y power negative m minus 1, because 1 over will make it into negative. Okay, if we have 1 over x, this will become x power negative 1. If 1 over x square, x power negative 2. So we just make the power negative equals to, this y plus x is x plus, can be written as x plus y power 1. Then here we can compare the powers. So negative m minus 1 is 1. So m we bring over there, 1 we bring here, m will equal to negative 1 minus 1. So m is just negative 2. Done. Quite a long question. Quite complex, but they give us 4 marks, so I guess it's fair lah. Question 5. The quadratic function f is defined by this. So this is called vertex form. Vertex form means we complete the square, we will get this form where P and Q will be our vertex, the maximum or the minimum point lah. Okay, so here they said if K is 2, state the equation of axis of symmetry of the graph. Okay, axis of symmetry, no need to, the K doesn't matter actually. Okay, the K is 2, but axis of symmetry is whatever that's inside the bracket here. So x minus P, you make it equals to 0, x equals to P will be the axis of symmetry. Done. Right. So, okay, let me just show you an example graph. So let's say this is our graph. Since this is the vertex, PQ, our graph will be symmetrical along this line. So this line will be x equals to P. So axis of symmetry, you just take the one inside the bracket equals to 0, then you get the axis of symmetry lah. Okay. B. If K is increased from 2 to 3, how would the position of minimum point of the graph change? Okay. So K is this one. If this one changes from 2 to 3, they're asking what will happen to the minimum point. Minimum point will be P and Q. Okay, actually it won't change much. Let's see. If we have a graph, let's say x plus, x plus 5 square plus 3, let's say. So this is our minimum point, negative 5, negative 3. If K is the first number here, outside the bracket, let's try to put 3 here. You see the minimum point still stays the same. If we change this to 13, the minimum point is still the same, just that the graph becomes thinner. So our K does not change the minimum point. It just changes the shape of the graph. So B, we can say minimum point does not change. Done. Okay. Question 6. Diagram 6 shows x and y drawn on a square grid with sides of 1 unit. So this grid is 1 unit, 1 unit. A. On diagram 6, draw and label 2x minus y. Okay. So x is going this way. So 2x will be double of this. So let's just take here. This is x. 2x means twice lah. This will be 2x. And then y is going down here. So negative y would go in the opposite direction. So we draw here. This will be negative y. That's it. This is our answer for A. And then B, state modulus of 2x minus y. Okay, for this chapter, modulus means magnitude. Magnitude means how long is this vector. So 2x minus y, it starts here and it ends here. So the vector is from here to here. This is 2x minus y. So this vector is 1, 2, 3 units. So B, we can say the modulus of 2x minus y is 3 units. That's it. Question 7. State the complementary angle in radians of alpha in terms of pi and alpha. Okay. Complementary angle means the sum of two angles must be 90. So if we have one angle here, let's say this is 30, the complementary angle would be 60. If our angle here is 50, the complementary angle would be 40. Okay, the sum of two angles must be 90 lah. Okay, so here they said we want the complementary angle of alpha. So this would be 90 minus alpha. But they want us to give us in radians. So 90 degrees, you must convert it to radians. Okay. So we know 0, 90, 180, 360. These are all common angles. So you must know all this in terms of radians lah. So 0 is just 0 radian. 360 is equal to 2 pi radians. So 180 is half of this. 90 is half of this. So 90 degrees is pi over 2 radians. So in this case, it will be pi over 2 minus alpha. So the answer is pi over 2 minus alpha. Done. Okay, next, B. On diagram 7, sketch a line to represent negative 225. Okay, so we start here, this is 0, this will be 90, 180, 270, 360. Okay, if it's positive 225, that means it will be somewhere here, because this is 180, this is 270, so 225 would be here lah. Okay, but since this is negative 225, we have to go the other way. Okay, so 225 goes across 1, 2, 3 quadrants. So you go the other way, 1, 2, 3 quadrants. So it will be here. This will be 90, 180, then 225 will be somewhere here lah. So we draw like this. This will be negative 225 degrees. That's it. Question 8. It's given that fx is this and f prime x is this. That means they differentiated this fx, so we got this lah. Such that a and b are constants, find the value of a and b, right? So we need to differentiate this. So we have fx equals to 3. Okay, we can bring this denominator up. So when you bring up the power, you just add a negative. Negative 8. Okay, so now we can differentiate lah. So differentiate, the power must times in front here. So we'll get negative 24. 1 minus 2x. So after you multiply it in front, you minus this with 1. So negative 8 minus 1 is negative 9. Then don't forget, you have to multiply with the dy dx of inside this, the first derivative of the one in the bracket. So when you differentiate inside here, 1 we differentiate will become 0. Negative 2x we differentiate will give us negative 2. Then this number and this number can times. So this will become 48, negative 9. Okay, then since this is negative 9, we want in this form, we can push this down lah. So it will become 48 over 1 minus 2x power 9. So from here, our a will be 48 and our b will be 9. Done. Next, 8b. The area of a sector of a circle, okay, sector of circle looks like a pizza. Like this. Okay, so the area of this sector is given by this equation such that x is the radius and p is a constant. Okay, p constant means it's just a number lah. Okay, using differentiation, find the maximum area of the sector in terms of p, right? So we want to find maximum area. That means dy over dx will equal to 0. Whenever you see maximum or minimum, you must remember dy dx is 0. So in this case, let's just differentiate this. So if y is this, dy dx would be 2x minus 4. Okay, the 2 here, bring in front, so it becomes 2x. And negative 4 power 1. So it's when you differentiate, you get negative 4 lah. So from here we can find x. X will be 4 over 2, which is just 2. This is not our answer because x just represents the radius. So we have the maximum radius. Now we need to find the maximum area. So you just put it back into the equation, you'll get the area. So maximum area would be 2 square minus 4 times 2 plus 10p. 4 times 2 is 8. 4 minus 8 is negative 4. So the maximum area would be this. Done. Okay, since they want us to find in terms of p, we can just leave it like this lah. No problem. 8c. A cone has a volume of 16 pi cm cube with height 3 cm. So we have a cone. Oops. Okay, like this lah. Right, so this cone has a volume of 16 pi and a height of 3 cm. So this height is 3 cm. Okay. If the height of the cone is fixed, using differentiation find small change in volume. So they want us to find the small change in volume means delta V of the cone when its radius increases by 0.5. So delta R also we have. Right. So here we are dealing with volume and radius. So first we need to find the initial radius, the original radius. So we know volume of cone is 1/3 pi r square h. So volume is 16 pi. Height, we know height is 3 cm. So from here we can find the original radius. So 103 times 3 cancels off. Pi cancels off. So r square is 16. So r can be plus minus 4. But obviously radius cannot be negative 4. So radius is 4 cm. This is the original radius. Okay. Now they said the small change in radius is 0.5%. So our delta R would be 0.5% of this radius of 4 cm. Okay, the change in radius is 0.5% now. So 0.5 times 4, we get 0.02 cm. So the radius changes by 0.02. So we want to find the changes in volume. So the formula would be delta V over delta R equals to dV dr. So delta V would be dV over dr times delta R. So V is this, and they already said height is constant 3, right? So height, instead of writing h here, height instead of writing h here, we can just put 3 because this one doesn't change. Then we can simplify it. 1/3 times 3 cancels off. So V is pi r square. Okay. So dV dr would be 2 pi r. Okay, I just differentiated this lah. 2 we bring in front, 2 pi r. Delta r is 0.02. Okay. Then to find the delta V, we sub the original value of radius here, which is 4. So we get 2 times 4 is 8. 8 times 0.02, 0.16 pi. This is how to find small changes in volume. Okay, so the main equation is this. dV dr we find from the volume formula. Delta R must times here. Delta R we found using the percentage of change they gave us. So they gave radius increase by 0.5%. So we know the radius is 4. So it has increased by 0.5%, which means 0.02 cm has increased. Hope that makes sense lah. Okay, so then delta r is 0.02. dVdr we just get from here lah. And then we'll get this r here. Okay, in every small changes question, you have to finally sub the original value of x, or in this case r, to get your small change. That's it. Next question. Okay, it is given that p0 fx dx is 3, p0 gx dx is 6. If this minus this is 12, such that here h and k are constants, express h in terms of k. Okay. Right, so we start from here, we try to expand now. So p0 hfx plus, then I expand this, so this will become p0 k gx dx. Okay, actually here also must have dx minus 0 p gx dx equals to 12. Okay, since these are constants, we can put this outside. So we can write this as h p0 fx dx plus k p0 gx dx, and then this one we have 0p. Okay, but the values they gave us is p0. This one also p0. This one also p0. So what we can do is we can swap this by changing the symbol. So if it's negative, this one will become positive. So plus p0 gx dx equals to 12. Now we know this value, p0 fx dx is 3. So we can sub this with 3. And we know gx dx is 6. So gx dx we can sub in with 6. So k times 6 plus 6 equals to 12. So 3h plus 6k equals to 12 minus 6. We want to make h in terms of k. We want to make h the subject. So 3h is 6 minus 6k. Therefore, the whole thing divided by 3 will get 2 minus 2k. Then. Oops. Shoop. Okay, 8e. Given that d dx of 4 over 3 hx is this, find the integral of this in terms of hx. Okay. So usually these kind of questions, this must be related to this lah. So here it looks like it's not related yet. So what we try to do is we can try to factorize this part, see whether we can get something related to this or not. Okay. So we need to find the integral of 2x squared minus 2. So we can factor out 2. We'll be left with this. And then down here we can just use calculator to factorize lah. A is 3, B is negative 7, C is 4. So here our x is 1, so x minus 1. The other x is 4 over 3, so 3x minus 4. Okay, so this will factor out into this. Right, then this x square minus 1 also we can factorize. X square, 1 is 1 square. So if you have minus in the middle, this will factorize into x plus 1, x minus 1. X minus 1, 3x minus 4. Then this x minus 1 we can cancel off. So we'll be left with 2x plus 1 over this. So these two we can actually bring out since it's a constant. So 2x plus 1 over 3x minus 4 dx. Now we already got something similar to this. Right, so now we need to integrate this. According to this, we need to integrate this. So what we can do is, we know this is equal to this, right? So we can sub this into here. So integrate d dx of 4 over 3 hx dx. So basically I just sub this part with this. Okay. So now we have integral of d dx. So this will basically cancel off because you integrate a derivative, it will cancel off lah. So here we'll get 2 4 over 3 hx. Okay, here you have to remember this is indefinite integral. That means there are no limits. So when you integrate, you have to plus c. So this will be 8 over 3 hx plus c. Done. Okay, B. The contestants who pass with at least 2 types of talents will qualify to the next stage. Using answer in A1, estimate number of contestants who will qualify if total number is this much. Right. So with at least 2 types of talents. So here we have 0 talent, 1 talent, 2 and 3 types of talents. At least 2 means must have 2 or more. So we have 10 over 50, 1 over 50. So we can say at least 2 means probability of x equals to 2 or probability of x equals to 3. 2 or more lah. So probability of x equals to 2 is 10 over 50. So 10 over 50 people have at least 2 talents. And then 3 talents would be 1 over 50. So total is 11 over 50. This will be the probability. So if we have 1850 contestants, 11 out of 50 of them would proceed to the next stage. So the number of people will be 11 over 50 times 1580. So we'll have 407 people or contestants who will proceed to the next stage. Okay, so 11 out of 50 is just the probability lah. Probability of them proceeding. So out of 1850, 407 will get through. Done. Question 10a. Determine the number of different ways to arrange 7 letters from the word Sampurna. Okay, so Sampurna has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 8 alphabets, but we need to make a 7-letter word. So out of 8 alphabets, we need to make 7. But since here arrangement matters, we choose P. If arrangement doesn't matter, then we choose C. Here arrangement matters because the way you arrange the words will make a different word. Let's say you put N-A-M here, or you put M-A-N here, will be completely different words lah. So the arrangement does matter. So it's just 8P7. 8P7. This will give us 40,320. Okay, just in case, we have to check, are there any repeating alphabets or not? S-E-M-P, no repeating. Yeah. So if they are repeating, then we have to divide by the number of repeated alphabets lah. Here, all alphabets are unique, so no need. Done. Let's look at B. A 4-digit number is to be formed by using digits 1 to 6 such that, so we want to make 4-digit number, such that the repetition of digits 1, 2, 3 and 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is not allowed. So 6 can repeat unlimited times lah. Okay, so we want to find number of different ways for digits. Okay, so since 6 can repeat, there will be a few scenarios. The first one would be, let's say it's just filled with 6. 6 got 4 times. Second one would be 6 3 times, and then 6 repeats twice, then 6 is once, and then no 6. Okay, when 6 repeats 4 times, it means you don't have to choose anything. There's just one way. Okay, only one number of arrangement. Okay, if 6 repeats 3 times, that means we can put any numbers here. Can be 1, can be 2, can be 3. So what we can do is, the 3 6s we leave it lah. Here, this would be out of 5 numbers, we need to choose 1. So we say 5C1. Okay. So 5C1 is for us to choose a number here, and then they can rearrange among themselves. So we multiply with 4 factorial. Okay. But since we have 3 of the same numbers, we have to divide this by 3 factorial. Okay. The next one, we have 2 seats here, so 5C2. Out of the 5 numbers, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we choose 2, and then we rearrange them 4 factorial, but 6 repeats twice, so we divide by 2 factorial. Okay. Then the next one, 5, here will be C3, because we have 3 seats. Then 4 factorial, divide 1 factorial, no need lah, because 1 factorial is just 1. And 6 doesn't repeat, so it's just 4 factorial. Okay, and the last one, out of 4 seats, we cannot choose 6. So we still have 5 options. So here will be 5C4 times 4 factorial as well. Okay. Oops. So if we add all these, we will get our answer. Right, let's do one by one. 5C1 times 4 factorial. Where is the factorial? Wait, no. Here. Times 4 factorial over 3 factorial. So this will give us 20. So I write here 1 plus 20. Okay, don't forget the 1. This one is 1. Okay. 1 plus 20. And then the other one would be 5C2 times 4 factorial over 2 factorial. This gives us 120. So it's done. Then we have 5C3 times 4 factorial. We get 240. And the last one would be 5C4. Will be 120. So 1 plus 20 plus 120 plus 240 plus 120. Altogether we have 501 ways. Done. Actually, this is not the only way to solve this. There are many different ways, but I think this would be easiest way I could explain because you can easily see the pattern. Okay, so again, here we do 4 factorial because we want to rearrange this 4. But since we have 3 repeating numbers, 3 repeating 6s, we divide by 3 factorial. Here we have 2 repeating 6, so we divide by 2. Here we don't have anything repeating, so no need to divide by anything lah. That's it. Question 11. There are 25 students present at the general meeting of STEM Society. Find the number of different ways to choose 4 students to lead the committee. So we have 25 students, we need to choose 4. So this would be 25 C4. We use C instead of P because arrangement don't matter. If you choose student A, student B, student C, and student D, or you choose D, B, A, C in this order, it doesn't matter. Still, the same 4 students are getting chosen. So when arrangement don't matter, we use C. 25 C3. C4. 12,650 ways. So there are this many ways to choose the 4 people. Okay. B. After the leaders are chosen, the remaining number of boys to the number of girls is in the ratio of 4 to 3. Okay, so 25 students we had in total, 4 already got chosen. So we have 21 students remaining. These 21 students are split into the ratio of 4 to 3. So we need to find the actual number of students. So we have 21 in total. Our ratio, if we plus, we get 7. So 21, we divide by 7. 21 over 7 will give us 3, right? So this whole thing we have to times 3. Oops. So the actual numbers would be 12 to 9 students. So there are 12 boys and 9 girls. Okay, total we get 21. Okay, then a boy called Zam and a girl called Min are among them. Find the number of different ways 5 committee members can be chosen such that number of boys is more than the number of girls and must include either Zam or Min. Okay. So we have 12 students here, 12 boys and 9 girls. So if we remove Zam and Min, we have 11 other boys and 8 other girls. Okay, then we have Zam and we have Min. Okay, this is our current team. These are the number of boys. These are the number of girls. Okay, we need to make a committee of 5 members. And we need to include either Zam or Min. Okay, so 5 members. Let's say we have 3 boys and 2 girls. Okay, because the number of boys must be more than number of girls. And then another scenario, we can say 4 boys and 1 girl. These are 2 possibilities. Can we have 5 boys? Yes, we can. So we have 5 boys means we don't include Min. Yeah, so we have these 3 possibilities. Okay, the first one with 3 boys and 2 girls. So 3 boys and 2 girls means we put Zam first, and then another possibility will be we can have Min on the team, or another possibility would be having both of them on the team. So Zam and Min. Okay, so let's split this. So this is 3 boys and 2 girls. Okay, this will be our 3 possibilities. Right. So since we have Zam here already, we need 2 more boys. So other than Zam, we have 11 other boys. So this will be 11C2. And then we have 8 other girls. We need to choose 2. So 8C2. Here, the next one, we have 11 boys. We need to choose 3. Here we have 1 more seat for the girls. So out of 8, we choose 1. Here 11C2, 8C1. Then with 4 boys and 1 girl. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 4 boys and 1 girl. Let's put Zum here. So with Zum, the next one is with Min, and the last one would be with both of them. Zum, Min, and we split it with the ratio of 4 to 1. 4 boys, 1 girl. Okay. So the first one, we need to choose 3 boys out of 11. So 11 C3. And out of 8 girls, we choose 1. Here, we have 4 seats for the boys. So out of 11, we choose 4. The last one would be 11 C3. Okay. And lastly, we have 5 boys. Okay, 5 boys also can have a few scenarios. I think got 2 scenarios. One is with Zum. One more is without Zum. Oh, without Zum cannot. So only one scenario. Because they said must either have Zum or Min. So without Zum cannot lah. Just one only then. So all 5 are boys. So here would be 11C4. Okay, now we have to add all this. So the first one is 11C2 times 8C2. 11C2 times 8C2. We get 1540. Right here. Okay, then the next one 11C3 times 8C1. 1320. Then 11C2 times 8C1. 440. 11C3 times 8C1. 1320. Then just 11C4. 11C3. And lastly 11C4 again. 330. Okay, now we add all of this. 1540, 1320, 440, 330, 165, 330. Okay, so in total we have 5445. So we will have this many ways to form a committee. Done. This will be our final answer lah. Okay, next. Question 12. Diagram 12 shows a geometrical mural drawn by the members of the art club. The mural consists of a rectangle, QRST, and a semicircle, PQBAT, with center P. SR is 1.84 meters. Okay, and SPR is 72. Okay, this angle 72. The club has allocated 50 ringgit to decorate the mural. Sectors TPA and QPB. TPA and QPB will be painted green. Okay, so they want to paint this green color. This one green color. This one also green color. Okay, a tube of paint costing 6 ringgit will paint an area of this much. Paint is only sold in whole tubes. Okay. Wow, so many information. Okay. Perimeter, the price later we see lah. Okay, the price allocation. Okay. Perimeter of the whole blue color region will be taped with yellow color ribbon. So let's take yellow color. So they're gonna tape this with yellow color. Okay, a yellow ribbon. Okay. A roll of ribbon measuring 2 meter costs 10 ringgit. Ribbon is only sold in whole rolls. Okay, fine. A. Using pi 3.142, determine APB in radians. APB. Huh. This is an easy question. Okay. So APB, they already gave in degrees, just convert to radians lah. So basically, we can say the formula is theta over pi, theta over 180 times pi. So 72 over 180 times 3.142. We get 1.2568 radians. Okay, first answer done. Next, hence determine whether the allocation is sufficient or not. Show your calculation. Okay, so here they allocated a total of 50 ringgit to decorate the mural. Okay, so they want to paint this and they want to tape this with ribbon. So we need to calculate how much is the cost. Okay, first of all, the cost of paint is calculated through area. So this much of area will cost 6 ringgit. So let's find what is the area we need to paint first. So this is a sector. We use area of sector formula lah. Okay, first we need to figure out these two angles. So the whole thing is 180. 180 minus 72, we will get 108. Okay, so this plus this is 108 degrees. So if we divide this by 2, we get 54 degrees. Too thick last one. Okay, 54 degrees, 54 degrees. Okay, so now we find area of sector. Right. So area of sector will be 1 over 2 r square theta. Okay, so radius is from here to here. So we know from here to here is 1.84. So radius will be half lah. So 1.84 divided by 2. Our radius is 0.92 square times theta. Theta we just take 1 lah. Actually you can take the 108 together, but maybe some students will be confused. I just take 54 just to find one sector, then we multiply it by 2. So 54 we have to convert to radians, don't forget. So divide 180 times pi. This will be the area of one sector. We need to multiply this by 2 because we have 2 sectors, 1 and 2. Okay, so 1 over 2 and 2 will cancel off. So we just put this in our calculator. 0.92 square times 54 over 180, 3.142. We get 0.7978. This many meters square we need to paint. Okay, we have, the paint is sold in tubes. One tube is 6 ringgit. So how many tubes we need to paint this much of area? Okay, so one tube can paint 0.25. So to find the number of tubes, we divide 79782 with 0.25, we'll get the number of tubes. So this answer divides 0.25. We need 3.19 tubes. So they already told here, paint is only sold in whole tubes. So we cannot buy like half a tube. So even though we need only 3.2, we need to buy 4 tubes. So we say 4 tubes of paint. Okay, so paint settled already. We need 4 tubes. Right. Next we look at the ribbon. Okay, so they said the blue color is taped with yellow ribbon. So we need to find the length of this. So we'll know how much ribbon we need to buy lah. So this length is already given, 1.84. from here to here we can find. Okay, so we need to draw a triangle here. We solve Pythagoras theorem, we'll find the hypotenuse. So we have this length, this 0.92. Oh, cannot do Pythagoras. We use SOHCAHTOA. So this is a right angle triangle. We have adjacent. Okay, this is our angle. This is adjacent. We need to find hypotenuse. So adjacent hypotenuse, we use cos formula. Let me erase A first. Okay. So we do cos theta is adjacent over hypotenuse. Our theta is 54. Adjacent is 0.92. Hypotenuse we don't know. So swapping this, h will be 0.92 over cos 54. So this will give us degree. Okay, cos 54. So we get 1.565 meters. Right. So from here to here is 1.565. And then we know from here to here is the radian, same as this. So this will be 0.92 as well. So the whole hypotenuse minus the 0.92, we will be able to find this length. So we can say AS is 1.565 minus 0.92. We get 0.645 meters. Okay, so this one is 0.645. This one also 0.645. Now only thing left is this length, AB. Okay, so here this is an arc, so we use S equals to R theta. We know the radius is 0.92. We know the theta in radians. That was the first question. Alamak, erase already lah. Okay, now man, we do again. 72 over 180 times pi. 0.92 times 72 over 180, 3.142. So S is 1.156. So this is the length of AB. Now we can find perimeter already. Okay. So this is 1.156. So perimeter would just be perimeter will be 1.156, this one, plus this, plus this, plus this. So plus 0.645 plus 1.84 plus 0.645. 1.156 plus 0.645 plus 1.84. Total perimeter is 4.286 meters. Okay, so let's find how many ribbons we need. One roll of ribbon is 2 meters. Okay, so here we have 4.286. So 4.286. No, I write here lah. Ribbons is 4.286 divided by 2. So we need 2.143 rolls, but of course we can't buy 2.14, so we buy 3 rolls of ribbons. Okay, now we can find the cost. So we need 4 tubes of paint, 3 rolls of ribbon. So 1 tube of paint is 6 ringgit and 1 roll of ribbon is 10 ringgit. So we find total cost 6 ringgit multiplied by 4 tubes, and then we need 10 ringgit multiplied by 3 rolls of ribbons. So this is 24 plus 30, we get 54. So is the allocation of 50 ringgit enough? Not enough. So we can say insufficient. Yeah, that's it. Question 13. Okay, it's given that the graph of quadratic function fx is this, such that k is a constant, has a max value of this. Okay, max value means, this is actually a clue, means the graph looks like this. So our a supposed to be negative, so k we must get a negative value lah. Okay, how we know, what's the difference? Max value means sad face, minimum value means the graph will go like this, because we'll get down here, minimum value. So if this means a must be more than 0, where our a will be positive. Here a will be less than 0, a will be negative. Okay, so in this case, k will be negative lah. Right. Okay, that's just a small clue. A, by using method of completing the square, find the value of k. Right. So let's complete the square. Fx, okay, fx is this. The first step of completing the square is making sure a is 1. So in this case it's k, so we have to factor out the k. So we'll be left with x square. 3kx divided by k will get 3x. 10k square, we factor out the k, we get 10k. Okay, then the next step is you break this down over here. Then we write this as usual. Where we broke down here, we plus bracket square minus bracket square. Then continue back with the 10k. Okay, here inside the bracket will be b over 2. So 3 over 2, 3 over 2. Right. Then the next step would be this one, and this one we must write it together. So x plus 3 over 2 square. This 3x will go missing. Okay, because when we expand this, we will get back the 3 terms. Right. Then this whole thing you can simplify. So 3 square is 9, 2 square is 4, plus 10k. Right. Then we can expand the k in. So we times the k with these two. We'll get k x plus 3 over 2 square minus 9 over 4k plus 10k square. This will be our completing the square form. Okay. They gave us a clue where the maximum value is 49 over 4, right? Okay, max value is always the y value of the maximum coordinate. Because in our graph, this will be the maximum value of the graph. So it's the y coordinate now. And in our completing the square form, this is the x coordinate of the maximum point, and this whole thing is the y coordinate of the maximum point. So we can say this whole thing must equal to the 49 over 4. Okay. So we say negative 9 over 4k plus 10k square equals to 49 over 4. Now we solve this. So the whole thing we can times 4 to get rid of the fractions. So negative 9k plus 40k square equals 49. Then we rearrange like this, then we can factorize. So polynomial 40, negative 9, negative 49. So we get k equals to negative 1, and the other k is 49 over 40. So here we put it back into our brackets, minus 49. Okay, so k can only take one value, and here they gave us the clue just now. Remember, maximum value means k must be negative, right? So we have to take this. So we reject this. So k is negative 1. Done. 5 marks. Hence, sketch the graph of fx for this range. Okay. So we roughly know the graph is something like this. Okay. Now we need to sketch in detail. So they want us to find the graph from negative 6 to 3. So what we do first is, we find out the coordinates. When x is negative 6, what is y? When x is 3, what is y? Okay, how to find out? We must put it back into this equation. So since now we know k is negative 1, our equation would be negative x square. This is too thick. Okay. Negative x square. 3 times negative 1 would be negative 3x. 10 times negative 1 square, negative 1 square is 1, so 10. Okay. So now we sub in our values. When x is negative 6, negative 6 square minus 3 times negative 6 plus 10. We get negative 8. Then when x is 3, negative 3 square minus 3 times 3 plus 10. We get negative 8 as well. Okay. So these are our coordinates of our starting and ending point. So we can put here, this point is negative 6, negative 8, and this point is 3, negative 8. So our x-axis would be somewhere here, because this is negative. Actually, it will be somewhere closer. Draw again. It will be somewhere here. Okay. Then we look at our maximum coordinate, our maximum point here. So we know our maximum point happens at x equals to negative 3 over 2. Because x plus 3 over 2 here equals to 0. So x is negative 3 over 2. Okay, so this one I don't think you need to show, but you can show if you want. So this point up here is negative 3 over 2, and the y coordinate of this is 49. Okay, so the whole point of completing the square is to find the maximum coordinates. X we know, y they gave us here, 49 over 4. So we can write this here now. Okay, so it is right. So our x-axis will be somewhere here actually. Okay. Right. Our y-axis, sorry. And then since this is negative 8, so 0 would be above, somewhere here. Okay, we are getting closer. The only thing left is we need to find the axis, the intercept, sorry. So here, you want to find the intercept, we need to factorize to find the factors. So we need to factorize this. So we can say fx equals to 0. So negative x square minus 3x plus 10 must equal to 0. So if you factorize this, first we need to times the whole equation by 1, negative 1. Because factorization, you must make sure a is positive. Then only we can factorize. So we get x is negative 5 and x is 2. So x plus 5, x minus 2. So x here is negative 5 and x here is 2. Right. Then lastly, we need to find the y-intercept. Okay. At y-intercept, the value of x is 0. So we put in 0 here, 0 here. So this thing will be 0, this will be 0, this must be 10. So y-intercept is 10. So this will be our final answer. Done. Next. 14. Okay, it is given that gx is this for this domain. Determine whether gx is a discrete function or a continuous function. Okay, discrete function means you have individual values of x. Okay, so let's say our x is like this. This is a discrete function. So you have individual values of x and y. Okay, but if it's continuous, then it will be a graph, a continuous line, like this. So this will be a continuous function. So in this case, gx is modulus 1 minus 3x. This will be a graph. Okay, if you remove the modulus, this is going to be a straight line graph. Okay, ymx plus c. If modulus means we have to flip it up. So basically it has a continuous line. So it has to be a continuous function. So we can say continuous function because the graph is a line or continuous line with no gaps. Done. Okay. Number 2. Sketch the graph of gx. Okay, let's erase this. We need to sketch gx. So the first thing we need to do is we can sketch the graph without the modulus. So let's try to draw the graph without a modulus. So gx is 1 minus 3x. So if we rearrange it into the form of ymx plus c, gx is the y. Okay, so mx must put in front now. So y mx plus c. So our gradient is negative 3. Our y-intercept must be 1. Okay. So now it'll be a bit easier to draw because we know gradient is negative. So the line must go down. And y-intercept is 1. So it has to cut y-axis at 1. So this will be our graph without the modulus. Okay. Now we can easily change it into modulus by doing erase whole line. Okay, so we erase this and then we just flip it up. Okay, something like that lah. Right, before we do that, let's try to find the range first. So we complete this one. So when x is negative 2 and when x is 2, we need to find our values of the coordinates. Wait, sorry, lari already a bit. Okay, like this. So what we do is we just sub it into the equation. Oops. So when x is negative 2, we put this one inside here. 1 minus 3 times negative 2. We get 7. So negative 2, 7. And then when we sub 2 inside, we get negative 5. So 2, negative 5. So our coordinates here This is 8. This is 2, 7. So this will be 7. And then this will be 2, negative 5. So here will be negative 5. But we don't need that because we are going to flip it up. So when we flip this point up, it will be at 2, 5. So now we can erase. And this line will be up here at 2, 5. Okay, so this is our modulus graph. So we can also find this coordinate where it cuts. So the straight line cuts the x-axis. So at the x-intercept, y must be 0. So we can use this equation to solve. So y is 0. We make x the subject. X will be 1 over 3. So here is 1 over 3. Done. Next question. Okay. B. It is given that fx is x plus 3. Find f and x such that n is a positive integer. Right. So fx is x plus 3. So we need to find the pattern. So we find f square x. F square x is f of fx. So we substitute fx. We substitute fx into the x. So it becomes fx plus 3. Okay, basically we are substituting the fx into the x. So then fx is x plus 3 plus 3. So we get x plus 6. So I write here fx is x plus 3. F square x is x plus 6. Then we find f cube x. F cube x would be f of f square x. So we put f square x into the fx. We put it into the fx. So f square is x plus 6 plus 3. So x plus 9. So f cube x is x plus 9. And so on. So from here we can already find the pattern. The pattern when f is power 1, we get 3. When f is 2, we get 6. F is 3, we get 9. So clearly this is 3 times 1. 3 times 2. 3 times 3. So if f power n, we would get x plus 3 times n. Because when n is 1, we got 3 times 1. N is 2, we get 3 times 2. N is 3, we get 3 times 3. So n is n, we get 3 times n. So our answer for B1 will be this. X plus 3 times n. So you can write this as you're working. Something like this. Lama, some moving. Okay, something like this. This will be a full working. Right. Let me erase all this. B2. Hence, find hx such that h f 10x is this. Right. So they gave us h f 10x is x minus 30 times x plus 30. Right. So from B1 just now, we found fn equals to x plus 3n. So f10 x would be x plus 3 times 10. Okay, we sub the n with 10. So f10x would be x plus 3 times 10, which is x plus 30. Okay. So we know f tan x is x plus 30. So let's sub that in. Hx plus 30 is x minus 30, x plus 30. Okay. Here to find hx, what we can do is, since we have x plus 30 a few times, we can try to let x plus 30 into an alphabet. So let's make this k, like let's say. So x plus 30 would be k, means this will become hk. X minus 30, okay, see, x plus 30 is k. So x minus 30 is equivalent to x plus 30 minus 60. Because 30 minus 60 will give us negative 30. Okay, okay, the whole idea here is we want to try to relate k into this. So x minus 30 we need to find in terms of k lah. So x minus 30 is x plus 30 minus 60. This will give us negative 30, right? So we can say this is k minus 60. So x minus 30 is k minus 60. So when we sub here, we put k. We sub this, this will become k minus 60. And then x plus 30 will be k. So hk will be k square minus 60k. Then hx, we can say x square minus 60x lah. So this will be the answer for hx. This part is the slightly confusing part, but if you're good with plus and minus, basically it's just you want to define x minus 30 in terms of k lah. Okay, or another way you can look at it is, okay, we know x plus 30 is k, right? So x will be k minus 30. Okay, that's one. So here x minus 30 means we can write k minus 30 minus 30. Okay, this is x minus 30. So k minus 60 lah. Okay, this will be our right. Next question. Last one. Okay. Based on triangle BCA, derive sine square plus cos square is 1. Okay. So this is a right angle triangle. So the first equation for a right angle triangle, you must know a square plus b square equals to c square. This is Pythagoras theorem. Okay, this is one of the information we know here lah. Right, so let's derive sine square plus cos square. Theta. Okay, so sine would be O over h. So sine square would be O over h square. Cos will be A over h square. Here our opposite is A, hypotenuse is C. So A over C square. Adjacent would be B, hypotenuse is C. So B over C square. This one just formula lah, don't get confused with this A. Okay, that A and this A is different. Right, so here we expand. This will give us a square over c square plus b square over c square. Okay, our denominators are the same, so we can add these up. And remember just now a square plus b square is c square. So we can sub in the a square plus b square. This will give us c square. So c square over c square is 1. So you can say this is derived. Done. Number 2. We need to prove this equals to this. Okay. Let's erase all this first. Leave some space. Alright. Okay. Let's do here we take both sides lah. We have to take both sides and prove something else. Because we can't, I don't think it's easy to prove one, just take one proof into the other. So what we do is, we know sine square theta is 1 minus cos square theta. So I write here 1 minus cos square theta plus cos theta plus 1 over 2 minus cos theta equals to, okay, secant theta is 1 over cos theta plus 1 over 1 over cos theta. Okay, if you don't already know, secant theta, cosecant theta, and cotangent theta, this is 1 over cos theta, this is 1 over sine theta, and this will be 1 over tangent theta. So to remember this, you just look at the third alphabet. So third alphabet C means 1 over cos theta. Third alphabet is S, 1 over sine theta. Third alphabet is T, 1 over tangent theta. Right. So here, let's continue. 1 we can plus with 1, so we get 2. So negative cos square x plus cos theta plus 2 over 2 minus cos theta. Over here, we make the denominators same. So we times cos x. So we'll get 1 plus cos theta over cos theta divided by this, right? So this one we bring up here. So we write divided by 1 over cos theta. Okay. So if divide, what we do is we change it to times and then we flip this. So it will be times cos theta over 1. So it's basically times cos theta. Then these two can cancel off. Right. So on the left hand side, looks like we have a quadratic function here. So what we can do is, this negative, we can multiply top and bottom with negative. So we can factorize later. So on top we multiply by negative, we get cos square theta minus cos theta minus 2 over cos theta minus 2. Okay, this one will become negative, this one will become positive. Okay, because we multiply top and bottom with negative 1. Equals to 1 plus cos theta. Okay, let's continue here. So here, top here we can factorize. So we get A is 1, B is negative 1, C is negative 2. So we will get cos theta plus 1 and cos theta minus 2. And this whole thing over cos theta plus, minus 2 equals to 1 plus cos theta. So here cos theta minus 2 can cancel off. So we get cos theta plus 1, or we can write 1 plus cos theta equals to 1 plus cos theta. So we can say left hand side equals to right hand side. Proven. Done. Quite a difficult proving question, but we have to solve it one by one. Done. Okay, next one, last one. 15b. Solve the equation sine 2 theta is negative cos theta. Okay. So sine 2 theta, the formula is given, this is your formula sheet. The sine 2 theta is 2 sine A cos A. So we can say 2 sine theta cos theta equals to negative cos theta. Right. What we can do is we bring the cos theta over here. So 2 sine theta cos theta plus cos theta is 0. Then we factorize the cos theta. So we get 2 sine theta plus 1. So here we will get cos theta equals to 0 and 2 sine theta plus 1 equals 0. So here sine theta is negative 1 over 2. Okay. So for this we have to solve separately. This one we have to solve separately. To be honest, I think this question really deserves more than 3 marks. Okay. So cos theta is 0. We have to solve for the range between negative 180 and 540. Okay. So what we do is we split this into two ranges. One is negative 180 until 0. And the other one will be 0 until 540 lah. Okay, because both of these will be different. Negative means going the other way. Positive is going the clockwise way. So let's solve it. Let's solve this one first. So we do our regular cycle. 0, 90, 180, 270, 360, and then 540 will be 360 plus 180. Yeah. So basically one whole cycle plus another cycle until here. So cos theta is 0. Add sugar to coffee. So let's assume cos theta is positive. Okay, whenever we get 0, we just take positive. So cos is positive in this quadrant and this quadrant. So here itself, we must get 3 answers. Because in the first round, we will get 2 answers. And then in the second round, we will get another answer here. Okay. So what we do is, we do theta is shift cos 0. So shift cos 0 is 90 degrees. So that's the first quadrant, 90 degrees. Then the last one, the formula is 360 minus theta. So 360 minus 90. 360 minus 90 is 270. And then, okay, one round done ready. And then the second half, because we want until 540, so we're going to go 1.5 rounds. So the second half is this same quadrant. So what we can do is, we can do 90 plus 360. Because this one is going another round. So theta is 90 plus 360, which is 450. Okay. So just for this range, we got 3 answers. Next we do the negative range. Okay, so negative range means we get 0, 90. Actually, no need to write the range lah. Okay, never mind, you know what? I just write lah. Okay, so going the other way means first we just label our theta is 90. Oh, theta is 90 means, okay, never mind. Just to make it easier, I just write 90 like this. This one 90, this one 90. But obviously 90 is not like this. 90 is supposed to be like this. But just to keep things simple lah. Okay. So between 0 and negative 180, that means when we start here, we are going in this direction. Theta is positive in the first quadrant. Okay. So the first quadrant means it's 90 lah. So going in the opposite direction, we put negative 90. Okay, we start here. Here, add sugar to coffee. So theta is positive here. So we just take 90. But since opposite direction, we put negative. So for cos, our theta's value would be negative 90, 90, 270, and 450. Okay, this is just for cos theta. Okay, so this is just the answer for the first part. Now we need to solve this part. Okay, it's basically the same thing, just a bit different. So sine theta is negative 1 over 2. So whenever we get negative values, first step is always to find acute angle. So we use a different alphabet lah. So shift sine 1 over 2. Okay, this is the reference angle. Reference angle, we must always take positive. Okay, even though it's negative, you must omit the negative. Just take positive. This is just for reference. This is not part of the answer. Okay, so shift sine 1 over 2. Right. We get 30 degrees. So our reference angle is 30 degrees. Okay, so let's solve for the positive cycle first. Between 0, 270, 360 until 540. Okay, so 2 cycles, 1.5 cycle, sine will be positive, sine is negative in these 2 quadrants. So from here, the first cycle we will get 2 answers, and then we go another half here got no answer lah. So from 0 to 540 we will only get 2 answers, because only in these 2 quadrants sine will be negative. So we just do as usual. This quadrant will be 180 plus theta, and in this quadrant will be 360 minus theta. So 180 plus theta is 210. This will be 330. Okay, this is for the positive range. Then we look at the negative range. So negative range 0, 270, 360. So negative range is from here to here. So let's draw our angles first. Our acute angle is 30. This is 30. So sine is negative in these 2 quadrants. So going this way, this will be our first answer, 30. But since we are going in the opposite direction, we write negative 30. And then the second answer would be from here to here. This will be 180 minus the 30. So we get 150. So we put negative 150 because opposite direction. So our answer from here will be negative 30, negative 150, 210, 330. If we write it in ascending, oops, negative 150 is smaller. So negative 150 first. Alright, so these are all the answers for the second part. So together, all these will be our answer. So in conclusion, you can say theta is negative 150, negative 90, negative 30, 90, 210, 270, 330, and 450. Wow, that's a lot of angles just for 3 marks. To be honest, this question is really not worth it for 3 marks lah. It's a lot of work. Yeah, but these are all your answers lah. To be honest, I've never seen a question this hard before. Alright, that's it for 2025 paper 1. So I'll be covering paper 2 as well. If this video helped you, please like and subscribe. See you next time. Bye bye.